Hey guys, Matt Hoos with SawHorse, and I've got a client that's about to move into their house and they've got a bird, and they told me that their bird is chemical sensitive, can't have any VOCs and any particulates in the air. Even though we've got an amazing filtration system on the house, we just finished construction, there's still some dust in the air, we've done some cleaning, and just to make sure that their bird does not die, because I don't want to harm humans or animals, we are going to make a Corsi Rosenthal box. So I'm at the Home Depot. We're gonna get all the parts of the box and show you guys how to purchase the materials and build this step by step. So they've got a different system than I typically go with. I usually go based on the MERV rating, which is what most of the industry does. They've kind of come up with this FPR, and the bigger the number, the better. I believe I've seen it go up to FPR 9 or 10, which is probably equivalent to your MERV. I've seen some April air filters over here where actually on the box it shows the FPR and the MERV score, so we can take a look at those real quick to kind of get an equivalence. So essentially, if we're getting an FPR 12 plus, it's around a MERV 13, and a MERV 13 is the minimum type of filter that I recommend putting in any house. I really like April Air. These are the replacement filters, but it's nice that we've got this equivalence to figure them out real quick. So most of these other filters I'm looking at have like an FPR 7 or an FPR 9. It's probably gonna be good enough for what we're trying to do. We're trying to get some of the dust and stuff out of the air. But let's go over the FPR 7, 9, and 5 and look at the differences. Starting with the green, which is the FPR 5, you're basically getting dust and lint, pollen, dust mite, debris, pet dander. Again, some of the larger things. Again, it's not bad. It's something that you want to get out of the air, but if you're looking to get bacteria and mold spores in addition to this, you probably want to go with the FPR 7. Now the FPR 9, you're adding a few other things. You're adding some allergens. You've also got some smoke, which is usually in that PM2.5. And also if you have somebody that's sick and you're trying to build this box and just keep some of those micro particulates or those aerosols filtered, that's what this can do. Now, those are all great, but again, we're recommending if you're looking to use this long-term, not just a short-term like we're using for this house, we want to go with the FPR 12 and usually the FPR 12 plus, which is equivalent to that MERV 13. And so really what I'm looking at are these VOC particulates. So these VOC particulates is usually considered PM2.5. These are the things that you want to get out of the air because these can enter your respiratory system, stay in there, get in your lymph nodes, cause long-term health concerns. So that's why we're building this box is, one, we're trying to make sure that you are healthy and also that your family and animals and stuff stay healthy as well. A lot of these come from human activity. So while some of these other things are great, I definitely like the fact that it filters out the mold spores, the dust and the lint, but I am really most interested in the VOC particulates and also the odors. All right, so per the instructions, we need to get a 20 by 20 by 1 inch, and we are going with, or you can do 20 by 20 by 2 inches. I don't see any 2 inches here, but this is the FPR 12, which is around a MERV 11 or so, which is not bad for what we're trying to do here. And again, we need 4 of these. There are ways to use 5 of these where you can have 1 on the bottom. We've got the fan on the top, but we're gonna use cardboard on the bottom. I think 4 is enough. And if we want to have a whole cart of these, we're actually gonna be doing these on 2 other projects as well because we do have allergens and stuff, and also we'll make sure that our clients are breathing clean air as we're working on their houses. All right, the next thing we need for this box is the Lasco box fan. Make sure you get the 20 inch. Right now it's around $27 at the Home Depot. Again, we're about to go into heating and cooling season, so these are usually more popular during the summer. So if you are going to build one of these boxes, make sure that you get one of these before they take them off the shelf and you have to order them online. I'm usually not one of those people that wants perfect packaging, but in this case, we want to make sure that the packaging looks really nice because we're actually going to use some of this packaging to make the box itself. All right, we're at the bird's house, Zoe. I'm going to make sure that she has clean air before she moves into the house. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got 4 of these filters. I'm going to unpack these, then I'm going to show you the pattern and how these go together. Then after that, we're going to take the cardboard and put it on the bottom so we can create 5 sides of this box. When you're taping these together, look at the arrow, make sure that the arrow is pointed in because we want the airflow to go through the filter this way into the box. Now I did want to get the 2-inch filter. All they had at Home Depot was a 1-inch filter, so that's why we opted for this one. The 2-inch filter would have probably lasted a little bit longer because it doesn't lose its electrostatic charge as quickly. And it's also just a little bit more durable. It's a little bit stronger. And it's also got twice as much surface area, so it's going to filter twice as long. Now, the reason they wrap these in this plastic, and I didn't really tell you this, is the rating on this, which is 12, or let's just say we have a MERV 13 filter, the reason that it gets that rating is because there's an electrostatic charge on this. When it loses that charge, because it does lose that charge over time, say a MERV 13 might only be a MERV 7. So the reason they put this plastic around it is to preserve that charge on this filter. So that's why they say you need to change your filters every so often. It's not necessarily just because the filters are clogged up, it's because it's lost that charge, and it's also lost the ability to filter out some of those microparticulates. We're gonna do 4 corners, but what we're doing is taping them off where one corner is basically abutting to the next one right there. It's not gonna be a 45. This design counts on one basically being taped to the next. So we're gonna tape up one corner and then tape each additional corner, but make sure that the arrows are definitely pointed in. And we're using white tape on this. We decided to use T-Rex because it says it's ferociously strong tape. It also said it was construction tape, so hopefully this does not disappoint. We also got the one that has, we looked at some of the 3M tapes, but it only had 20 meters in it, and we wanted to make sure that we'll be able to build multiples of these boxes, so we got one that had a lot more tape on it. Once you tape up the side, if you forget which way the arrow is pointing, the spring is going to be on the inside, the reinforced part, and it's going to be all white on the outside. Make sure you've got a good connection so you get maximum filtration. Since this side butted that way, the next one is going to come into the corner like this. So we want this to be perfectly square. So the last one is going to come butt into this end, and then it's going to go on top of that end. All right, so basically have a mostly perfect square right here. The next thing we're going to do is use the box that the fan came in, and we're going to cut out and make the bottom of the box while it's in this position right here. Let's use a utility knife. All right, since we have a 1-inch filter and this is 20 inches wide, this should be 21 inches. It's a little bit under, so this is measuring right at, let's just call it 20 and a half. It's probably 20 and 5/8, but we're gonna cut this at 20 and a half. I'm a carpenter, I'm a builder, so I need to make sure this is perfectly square. So we're gonna use a few tools real quick to do that. Since this is square, we're just gonna use that to kind of square up the design here. Before you tape this, just make sure all the arrows are pointing in the right direction. I don't see any mesh on the outside, so we're good. All right, now all I have to do is put the fan on, and then we are going to make a shroud for that so we can focus the air in one direction, because the tests have been shown that if you put the shroud on, it actually has better suction coming through. There's different versions of the fans. We got the 20-inch Lasco where the controls are on the side, but I have seen some fans run on the top, so you have to cut an additional hole in the shroud for that. But this just goes on pretty easily. So make sure that the fan direction is going to blow this way, so when you put it on, the air is blowing out towards the logo. Just make sure it's centered on all sides and start taping it up. Make sure you cover these corners up with tape, because again, the idea is to pull air, create a negative pressure inside here by blowing air this way. That way air doesn't bypass the filter and it all goes through the filter. All right, so I've got everything assembled, and what the engineers have told us, the mechanical engineers told us what we need to do, and they've tested this with their flow meters, is we're going to create a shroud. And for the Lasco fan, the instruction says we need to make a 15-inch diameter hole inside the shroud. So we're just going to put this box up here, trace around it, cut it out, and then basically make a 15-inch circle, tape it on, and then it's done. We're going to start running this, start getting some of the particulates out of the air from all the construction we've been doing on this house. That way when our clients move in, it's nice and healthy. Just gonna mark center line at 10 1/4. Doesn't have to be perfect. This needs to be a diameter of 15. So radius will be 7 1/2. Roughly use the tape measure. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. If I was doing this out of wood, I'd use much more precise measurements. Now this is one of my job site tables, so I don't mind making cuts on it, but I would recommend putting something underneath it, and definitely don't cut this on a surface where you're worried about the blade scratching it up. All right, I got this air quality monitor by Air Things, and it looks like the PM2.5 right now is around 19. Temperature's good, humidity's a little bit high, but we're gonna plug in this fan right next to this to see if we can lower the PM2.5 just a little bit. All right, so we have the different settings. If you set it on low, again, it'll last a little bit longer, but we're gonna set it on some of the higher settings because we're trying to get as many of the particulates out of the air as we can before they move in. All right, we ran our box fan and went down from 29 to 12 PM2.5. One thing I am concerned about though is we got 660 parts per billion for the VOCs. There's another room, we just put down some flooring down in it, and I'm wondering if that's one of the contributors. So we're gonna move this device over to the other room to see if that's the issue. All right, so we did the test. It's been here for an hour or so. We're on the gym floor. Again, new car smell, you can smell that off-gassing. PM2.5 has gone down a little bit because we're running all that, but we're up to 1,632 parts per billion as far as the VOCs. Now we started out at like around 600, 670 or so. So this has gone up significantly just because of the off-gassing from this floor. So for all those people that love that new car smell, the new car smell is not something that's good for your health. It smells good because it's like, hey, I've got something new, but those are VOCs. You shouldn't smell anything. Anything coming into your lungs in your house that has a chemical smell to it, more often than not, it's not something that is good for you and it affects your health, can cause cancer, whatnot. So again, be very wary. So if you do have a floor like this, make sure you do have good ventilation in your house. In this case, we have an ERV. It's sucking a lot of the bad air out, just bringing some fresh air in. So hopefully as this continues to off-gas, we've got fresh air coming into the house and exhaust ventilation, we're able to get some of these smells out of the house and lower that parts per billion for the VOCs. All right, we left our box running for about, I don't know, 3 hours right now. And I am looking at the PM2.5 is down to 4, which is pretty good. And it's near the sensor. So goal is 0, but it's definitely down from 52 when we started and around 19 about halfway through this. All right, so we've been using this for several months. I've got my dog Oliver right here, and I've also got my dog Oliver right here. You can see that this filter is pretty nasty. This is a new filter that we're gonna change out. To simply change these out, like basically once it looks like this, you've probably gone a little bit too far. We're gonna cut the bottom off the box and cut the fan off, retape it, make the box just like we did in the video, but just look at that difference. It's pretty nasty. But these are all the things that are in your air that you're breathing unless you're filtering them out. And this is basically helping our whole house HVAC system filter a lot of the air so it doesn't have to work as hard, but yeah, that's a huge difference.